Welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. In this video, we are unboxing the Bandai Namco S.H. Figuarts Squid Game Masked Soldier action figure. So this is a 1/12 scale action figure. You can find it at various outlets. You can find it on Amazon and some other places as well. The packaging looks great. You know, one thing that I really love about the Figuarts packaging is how efficient it uses its space. You know, this doesn't take a whole heck of a lot of space, and you can see the action figure, you can see some of the accessories, a good use of the packaging. Turning it around, now we can see some more information about this action figure, but we're going to open it up anyway. Off to the side, we can see that it is meant for ages 15 and up, and there is the UPC code. All right, let's open it up. Now we're looking at the action figure out of the box. There is this outside tray thing for keeping all of the pieces in place, but taking it off, obviously, so it's easier to check out the action figure. Inside, there is also this instruction sheet in case it was challenging to figure out what goes with what. The instructions are right there. There's also the directions for putting on this, what would you call this, utility belt, instructions for how to do that. And then you'll notice on this side is a cardboard, a paper coffin. So that is pretty awesome as an extra item included here. Considering how often this appears in Squid Game in the show, that is quite cool and unique. Looking at the action figure tray, we can see the action figure itself, obviously, along with the alternate hands. We have the clenched fists, the open and closed hands, as well as the trigger fingers for the action figure. There's also the MP5 and a revolver, and then again is the utility belt. So now we have the action figure out of the package, and I think it looks good. I don't think it looks great, but I think it looks good. On the positive side, with this 1/12 scale action figure, you have a good amount of movement and posability, right? You've got movement in the shoulders and in the arms, and you've also got the elbow. So the part that I don't like here is the gap, right? So this is a pretty large gap between, what would you say this is? This is the upper thigh, so the bottom half of the upper thigh versus the top half of the upper thigh, you know, connecting to what would be the waist. Um, I think that sculpt wise, it looks strange. It looks a little too big. I mean, certainly you've got a great range of movement, but if you've got this on the shelf, it looks a little bit odd. Um, cool looking action figure, I think overall, but you know, with all of that posability, there are some sacrifices in just the aesthetic look of the action figure. These feet are very articulated, right? You've got movement in the toe, so that is nice. You've got the knee piece and everything else. So a great range of movement on this action figure. If you have the worker manager figure, you can swap out the head. So there is no face underneath that. But if you have different versions of the helmet, you can swap them in. Now we're putting together the figure. There we go. We're good. When it comes to displaying the action figure with the machine gun, that removable shoulder strap is intended for the figure to have the machine gun in the front of the figure. So it's really meant to have that look. And it looks fine. It looks fine. It looks better if you display it this way without that utility belt, and instead it's just draped like that. And with the pistol grip hands, right, the trigger finger hands, we can then take this shoulder strap off and then put it in the hand of the action figure. This is what it looks like, and I think this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good like this. Yeah. Not a really detailed machine gun, so yeah, that could be better. but you understand what it is, and it looks fine, at least from a distance. It looks fine. There is no holster for the pistol, so you just keep it off to the side, whatever else. And it looks okay. It's a decent enough looking pistol. You can see I've switched out the left hand, and so that's the other type of hand for this action figure. Here we have the paper coffin. The coffin looks like it's made out of paper. It is printed on all the sides, so that is nice. You could put your action figure in that coffin. It does open from the bottom here, right? It doesn't open from the top. So, yeah, and I think that was a good choice because otherwise it would you would have the seams or the edges more distinctly shown on the top, and that's not so great. So yeah, a fine enough accessory, a nice addition to the figure. If you're wondering how well does it pair with GI Joe Classified or Marvel Legends or other action figure lines, here you can see these three figures right next to each other: the Marvel Legends Silk figure, Tiger Force, GI Joe Classified Duke, and it's in the ballpark, right? With this line, it is more true to 1/12 scale, whereas in reality, when it comes to Marvel Legends GI Joe Classified, it's a little bit different. It's close to 1/12, but not really. I think one of our oldest videos, I criticized the GI Joe Gung Ho, the GI Joe Classified Gung Ho figure because proportions wise, it would be like 7 feet tall if it was like translating that size to reality. Now, this looks great. Here we have the Tamashi Lab Squid Game Young Hee doll to the left, and the Squid Game soldier, masked soldier to the right. And the proportions look great, the size looks great. Really love the Young Hee doll, and we'll have a link up to the side there so you can take a closer look at that figure, all of its sound effects and everything. But just in terms of proportions, I think this looks excellent. That is the Squid Game Masked Soldier action figure. Post in the comments, what do you think of this action figure? Are you going to add it to your collection? Overall, I think it looks good. I think it's a good looking action figure for the most part. Some criticisms about the sculpt work and just sort of how it generally looks, but it is a cool action figure. And certainly, if you're a fan of Squid Game, something to consider adding to your collection. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. This has been the Fanboy Cantina.